are doing something a little dangerous, seniors versus sophomores. So you'll get a little bit of a taste of what I get to do every week and why I continue to coach debate, because it's so much fun. I laugh at things I shouldn't laugh at, and it's pretty awesome. But Jacob is a senior this year, has debated all 4 years, and I've asked Jacob to moderate, to explain kind of the process a little bit, and also to make sure these guys behave themselves. Okay?
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start off by introducing everyone, and starting with the sophomores and working our way up to the seniors. We have Drew Taylor, Elliot Forrester Benson. And then for our seniors, we have Nikhil Basukar and Luca Zana. Okay, the resolution for today, so what we will be debating is Bugs Bunny a better president than Mickey Mouse? So try to keep things fun. So now looking at the round today, it will start off with opening speeches, move on to a little bit of a crossfire, and questions being asked of both of the parties. Move on to a part where the other team can rip up the opponent's speech and try to point out faults, and then summarize everything. And finally, you, the audience, will decide who wins it. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off, we'll have a coin flip, deciding which side is which, who is going for the resolution, who is going against it, and who is speaking first and who is speaking second. So.
Heads.
And this heads.
We will take second speaker.
Okay, we'll take Con.
We're not that antisocial, we promise. We like it.
Okay, so are my opponents ready? Yeah. Is the moderator ready? And is my partner ready? Okay. Elliot and I negate, resolve. Bugs Bunny would be a better president than Mickey Mouse. Contention 1, Mickey is qualified to be president. Mickey Mouse is ready to be president. He has all the qualifications. He has a star on the Walk of Fame like Ronald Reagan. He leads and organizes his community, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, like Barack Obama. Has run for president before, like Richard Nixon. And he, like George Washington, has no teeth. This is among the most important qualities a presidential candidate could possibly have. Makes it clear that Mickey Mouse would be a better president than Bugs Bunny. Contention 2, Mickey can make good policy decisions. Unlike Bugs Bunny, Mickey's administration would be ready to administrate. His Secretary of the Treasury, Scrooge McDuck, could bring the U.S. out of debt single-handedly, with the additional benefit of transferring the United States to liquid assets. He has also invested in improving America's transportation infrastructure in innovative ways, such as steamboats and monorail, while Bugs Bunny often attacks federal employees who seek to help Americans get around. He's also a capable diplomat. He's friends with the Sultan of Arabia and the Lion King. Even Putin can't be putting his smile away when he sees him. Mickey is clearly the better presidential candidate. Contention 3, Mickey is powerful. This is probably the single biggest point of the round. Mickey, as the leader of Disney, owns Star Wars. I personally don't want to get in the way of the guy with multiple Death Stars in the Force. To sum it up, we're talking about a perpetually naked, abusive carrot addict against a classy, qualified patriot. The choice is clear. Thus, we negate. See you real soon.
Ready? Moderator ready? All of you wonderful people came up tonight, ready? Resolved, Bugs Bunny would be a better president than Mickey Mouse. Nikhil and I affirm the resolution for the following reasons. Contention 1, Space Jam. Contention 2, Space Jam. Contention 3, qualities of president. Throughout history, the American public have traditionally favored candidates of impressive stature that are well-rounded, patriotic, well-spoken, and have great political minds. Bugs Bunny is tall, an athlete, a war hero, a diplomat, a master, an excellent debater. Bugs Bunny is 4 feet That means twice as presidential. Fact. He, alongside Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, saved the world from aliens by winning the first intergalactic b-ball game. Take that. In 1946 episode Baseball Bugs, he single-handedly defeated the Gas House Gorillas 96-95 with a modest 96 home runs. He fought in World War II against Hitler, Mussolini, and the Japanese, earning the rank of Master Sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps. So great. In the 1949 episode Rebel Rabbit, he sold Manhattan back to the Native Americans and literally sawed Florida off the U.S. He knows what's best for America. Politicians, take notes. And lastly, he looks good in women's clothing. It takes a real man's man to be able to pull off full drag and hoodwink Elmer Fudd countless times. If Mickey tried to do that, he just put a bow on and be his own girlfriend, Minnie. That's not a talent, that's a problem. We can't be mixing up our first lady with our president. A vote for Bugs is a vote for the most versatile president we'll ever see, not some rodent with a dog named after an ex-planet. For these reasons, we affirm.
Okay, so clearly Bugs Bunny can dunk, but can he drive a steamboat?
What do you need to drive a steamboat when you're the president? Where are you going to find a river in the White House? But thanks to Barack Obama, we now have 2 new basketball hoops in the White House. Thank you very much. I actually have a question for you now. What's up, Doc? Not Mickey Mouse. We're talking about a 4-foot-tall rabbit here with a little tiny mouse, and you're going to say some greedy duck who starves his nephews is going to be good for our country?
Absolutely. Greedy ducks who starve their nephews are generally good for your country. That's a study that exists. I checked Wikipedia after this round. 5 minutes after this round. Now, I have a question for you. So you were talking a lot about how they're good because of Space Jam, right? So if we take Michael Jordan out of the equation, is Bugs Bunny really the star of the team?
Have you seen Space Jam?
I have seen Space
Who
Jam.
gave Michael Jordan the magic water that turned them all into basketball gods?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Space Jam.
So sad. So sad.
Alright, so let's begin. I'm going to be going down my opponent's argument and then moving on to my own as time allows. Now, first off, my opponent's main argument is about Space Jam as it was 2 out of their 3 contentions. However, Bugs Bunny's contributions in Space Jam were not actually anything that a president needs to do. Next off, he brings up how that Bugs Bunny helped fight in the war, but in the past, what we've actually seen is when generals run for president and it actually leads to detriments for the country. Now, a major thing here is when he said Bugs Bunny sawed off Florida, that's clearly not something that's good for the interests of the United States, so therefore he wouldn't be a good president. Finally, what I'd like to bring up is that Scrooge McDuck actually is part of the resolution as he's part of Mickey Mouse's ballot. So at the point where we're trying to look what's going to be best for our nation, at the point where Mickey Mouse is going to reduce America's debt and all Bugs Bunny is going to do is saw off Florida, the vote is going to be clear for Mickey Mouse. Thank you.
So I'd like to start out by taking an audience poll. So how many of you guys would think that Bugs Bunny is a good president? Now, raise your hand if you hate America. And if you think that Mickey Mouse is a better president, well, then exits are to the back and on either side of me. So to go over my opponent's arguments, first of all, they talk about how Mickey Mouse is qualified. But they never mentioned that Mickey Mouse was a naturalized citizen of the United States. They never mentioned that he was a 14-year resident. So obviously he isn't qualified to be, a U.S. president. And for all we know, he could have been born in Kenya. They talk about how Mickey Mouse has great policy decisions. But they never give you any real examples of when Mickey Mouse has made great policy decisions. And in fact, as according to the user, the contributor, In his answer to Wiki Answer's question, is Mickey Mouse evil and kills people? He answered yes. Obviously, he can't make good policy decisions. And then finally, they talk about how Mickey Mouse is powerless, but seeing as he's evil.
Okay, now we're moving on to the only slightly confusing part about debate, the grand crossfire. This is when all four competitors get to compete in the crossfire, as you saw before, but they stay sitting down. Okay, we're going to give them a little bit of extra time for this, but it should be heated and it might be a little bit of fun. So, enjoy. If you guys are ready.
So does better president necessarily mean less evil president? Can we not have an evil president that's awesome?
I would want Hitler as president.
But like Darth Vader was
was
pretty
fun.
cool. Like he was the coolest guy in Star Wars, and he was evil.
But here's the determining factor of today's vote, all right? So as according to the Q Basket car of Stanford University, he's a much better president than Mickey Mouse. So
I guess we lose.
Well, no. The response to this is, how can you guys fight the force? Because if Mickey Mouse doesn't get what he wants, then we're all going to...
Mickey doesn't have the force. That's just
Yeah,
preposterous.
Star Wars.
George Lucas is a money bad person. Actually, now given that, so wouldn't you say someone who's more qualified to actually be, like a politician, someone who's like good at debate would be like Bugs Bunny, who can, easily win any debate by switch up some pronouns? So would that mind? Don't you think Pro should win?
Well, no. You guys never really...
So Pro should.
No, Khan should win.
Pro should.
Khan should win.
Pro should. Con should.
So it's the kind of policy decisions that Bugs Bunny makes, and that's going to be really flawed. Otherwise, we're going to be flip-flopping on a lot of issues, and that clearly isn't a good president.
have you ever been to Florida?
Have you ever been to Florida?
I have been to Florida. That's where Disney World is the happiest place on earth.
Your dark overlord would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
And that is time. All right, on to a final focus. Try to sum up all of your arguments.
Okay, so are my opponents ready? I'll take that as a yes. Is my partner ready? And is my moderator ready? All you guys are ready? Okay, so really the only thing that my opponent has put forward this entire time is Space Jam. We have a Death Star. And Death Stars can have Space Jam. We can have Space Jam inside the Death Star, but you can't have a Death Star inside the Space Jam. If you don't think about it, it makes sense. If you go on that way, have you ever heard of Looney Tunes World? Neither have I, but I have heard of Disney World. It's the happiest place on earth. I enjoy going there. It's inside Florida, which my opponents want to saw off the United States. Finally, we need to remember that they never refuted that Mickey is ready to administrate. Scrooge McDuck, who's part of Mickey's ballot, is ready to come in and he's ready to create, make that gold into liquid assets. He'll swim in them to make this point. So in conclusion, we can see Mickey would be the better president because he wouldn't do things that would be bad like Saw Florida, and he would do things like good, and that would be good like giving the United States a Death Star. So in conclusion, we ask you to vote in negation of today's topic. Thank you.
So remember, first of all, we already won today's round because of our first two contentions, Space Jam and Space Jam. In addition, when you look at the arguments that have been brought up in today's round, you see on one side of the spectrum, you see Stanford University, and on the other side, you see Ravenwood sophomores. This argument. And remember that when our opponents are telling you that Mickey Mouse is going to be a great U.S. president and he's going to make all these great policy decisions, they never actually tell you what those are. But as we've pointed out numerous times, as according to the contributor on Wiki Answers, and in addition, as according to Squishy Kitty 0942. Answers. Mickey Mouse is evil and kills people. I see no other ballot other than Crow. That's all, folks.
Okay, guys, it's going to take a little bit of audience participation. We can decide exactly who won the round today. So we'll start off with the sophomores. By applause, we will decide this debate. So, sophomores first. Okay, now on to the seniors. Seniors have it.
Before they sit down, I want to point out that we were able to do something that I wanted to do since I started coaching 5 years ago. We get to send a debate team to nationals. You and Nikhil will be representing Ravenwood at nationals this year, but I got to tell you, at the national qualifying tournament, it was not just Drew and Nikhil. Our whole team just mopped up. And my favorite part of this year was when the Brentwood coach pulled me aside and she said, "It is getting bad." My principal just pulled me into their office and they said, "First we get beat by Ravenwood in basketball, and now they're debating."